What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. Boy, did the wrestling news just hit hard this past week. And when I say that is because we got news that Jimmy Plug, aka known as Jay Briscoe, passed away in a car accident this past Tuesday, I believe it was. Tony Khan had put up a tweet. I don't follow Tony Khan, okay? But one of my friends who's a huge Briscoes guy, huge, because fun thing is I was never a fan of Briscoes. I didn't know who the fuck they were, and I'll get into that story in a little bit. But he texted me and said, "Yo, Jay Briscoe just passed away," and I'm like, he fucking with me, because Jay Briscoe just had this dog collar match. Jay Briscoe young, and I'm about to say, unless Jay Briscoe just like some gang activity, like I like, what the hell's going on?
And not Jay Gage.
Not Jay Gage.
Yeah, talking about he in a gang activity. That's Nick Gage, dude.
That's Nick Gage. Yeah. But I was just like, I didn't know what the hell was going on, and then I was like, people be spreading wrestling rumors all the time, but they sent me a tweet from Tony Khan.
But then people spread rumors. They don't spread rumors about like a specific person like this.
Say what?
I say they don't spread a specific rumor like this though.
No, not at all.
And usually, if it is, it's somebody like bigger. No offense to Jay Briscoe. Usually, it'd be like somebody like Ric Flair died doing cocaine. Something stupid like that. If it's a rumor, you know. Usually when it's real, they usually be like, there usually be vague details at first. Then it'd be like, you wait, then it'd be like an announcement from somebody, and then you wait again for more details, and then it'd be like, alright, that's what it is.
Exactly. But then now, all of a sudden, I was just like, I got the tweet from Tony Khan, and I was looking at it, I was just like, oh my God. And I was just like, what happened? Like, that's the first thing that happened, and then you text me. And I was just like, what happened? And then as news started coming out, it come to find out that he was in a car accident, a head-on collision, and more reports came out that he was on a head-on collision with his daughters in the car. My heart and my stomach automatically dropped, because the first thing I thought about was Kobe. Now, I don't know if you got that same feeling. Remember when we heard news about Kobe, and we heard about his daughter being in the plane with him?
Mm-hmm.
And she was dead? I was just like, oh my God, if he died instantly, because I was saying, like, how fast was this joint going? If he died instantly, did his daughter die as well? And then we got update on the daughters that, his daughters that were 12 and 9. They were both in the hospital, and one may not be able to walk again. And I was like, you got to be shitting me. And there was no talk about this time if there was a drunk driver or if it was a maniac on the road. But no, it just looked like, from the reports, it was a simple accident. And like I said, I don't know if there's lost control of the wheel or whatever the case may be. But the other driver of the other car, who was 27 years old, I don't have her name at the moment. She died as well. So 2 people lost their lives in this accident. And since we're wrestling fans, obviously we're going to spend more time on Jay Briscoe, but that other woman could be a mother, a sister, a daughter. That's what she is to somebody. And whoever that family is, is in pain right now. Because I always tell myself, when it comes to, people complain there all the time. People die every day. We get it. And all that kind of stuff. But sometimes it's the way people die. And sometimes it hurts me the most is when these deaths could be preventable, or they're accidents, or they're freak accidents, suicides and things like that. It ain't just that, just because somebody dies every day does not mean you gotta be desensitized to it. And I think you gotta be sympathetic for what these people are going through when this stuff happens. So, probably, what was your reaction, especially hearing about Jay Briscoe, who's still an active wrestler, who still is like the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions? What was
I was like, dang, that's messed sad. And then, like a few, maybe I said 30, 45 minutes later, I was like, don't he get the tag belt? Like, what are they gonna do with that? Probably gonna just to be honest, I think they're gonna let them keep them and then just make new belts.
That's what I would probably do.
I wouldn't be upset if Mark would be like, hey, I'm gonna retire.
I'm about to say, because they both had singles runs, right? Jay had the more successful.
Yeah, Jay won the title though.
Yeah, I don't think Mark never won the title, right?
No, Jay won the title, so I was like, okay.
Yeah. So, and Mark just turned 38 the next day. If he says, yo, I'm done with this, yo. I'm really done with this, I understand.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Unless he do what Nick Gage did at the time and be like, I'm gonna just do all these in honor of my brother or whatever. But,
yeah, I keep hearing his name keeps coming up a lot. Recently. But I'll probably
Nick Gage.
Yeah.
Because his brother died. He was brother.
Oh, your mic is just breaking all up and all kinds of things. Are you on a headset or something, or you moved away from the phone because your mic is just doing all?
No, I'm here.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Okay, say what you said again.
No, I just said because his brother died in the same way he was just dedicating all his matches to his brother.
Okay, yeah, because I could hear. Like I said, the audio was going down, but yeah. Well, I'll just tell you this, because I don't like Ring of Honor. I was never a fan of Ring of Honor. When Ring of Honor started, I was an Impact guy. So my friend Chubbs, who used to be on this channel, he's on some of the older podcasts. He's a huge indie wrestling guy, and he introduced me to Ring of Honor, and we went to a show because I didn't want to go. I used to go to Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore that he shows up here in Philly at the 2300 Arena. Well, Ring of Honor would tape some shows up here also, and he took me to a Ring of Honor taping. This was right after. Let me see if you remember this, Prime. I think it was right after Final Battle. I think it was when they had. Remember when Kyle O'Reilly was going up against Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor Championship?
Mm-hmm.
In that I think it was like a hardcore street fight kind of match. Well, they came and they shot 3 Ring of Honor shows, 3 or 4 of them, because Ring of Honor was only 1 hour back then. So then these guys came on straight. He was like, "Yo, that's the Briscoes." I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no problem revealing myself on this podcast. When he talked about the Briscoes, automatically I was thinking about Gerald Briscoe don't wrestle no more. Dead serious. Dead. I know you roll your eyes.
You didn't even think it was. Didn't they have another Briscoe in Impact?
I think they did.
Yeah. I think it was Wes Briscoe.
I ain't think about these guys. So then when these guys came out, I was just like, who the fuck are these? Urban Youths. Like, that's what I said to him, because I did not know the history behind the Briscoe brothers. And when they came out, I was like, they look like some Urban Youths to me. And then my friend was like, no, they white boys, they chicken farmers. I said, what? And so I was just like, really? Okay, who are these guys? But come to find out when I seen their match, I was like, oh, these guys can go. Like, you can't judge a book by its cover. These guys can really go in the ring. So then, when we started doing more Ring of Honor shows, I started seeing more of the Briscoes, and I started getting interested as a tag team. I wasn't too familiar with the Jay Briscoe World Heavyweight Championship run. But I was just like, I like brother tag teams. Like, there's Hardys and there's, as I'm blanking on the actual brothers, not the Play Brothers tag teams. But you know what I'm saying. There's Top Flight now. But they had so many of those. I'm intrigued by those kind of family type of tag teams. So then I was like, okay, so I started getting into the Briscoes. I was trying to figure out like what their theme was, stuff like that, because they had I remember they had a little beef with the Usos because the Usos did day one ish, while they was like they had the slogan of day one, and I was just like, it could have been cool to kind of see the Usos and the Briscoes go at it and stuff like that. So that was I just wanted to share. That was my introduction to the Briscoes. For the first time, actually be able to get to see their matches. And then, like I said, when they had that trilogy, an awesome trilogy with FTR, just the end of last year, and going throughout the whole year, I was just like, damn, that's like almost the perfect way to, And I'm not saying it was right that Jay Briscoe passed away. I'm saying, but it was just like, what a tag team career, and just what a way to end that trilogy, because it was just it was just great. Great for those. So Tony Khan on Dynamite, everybody came out with like the J armbands and stuff. It kind of reminded me of Owen Hart or Eddie Guerrero when he passed away. He had the armbands and stuff. Well, according to this, they had a Ring of Honor tribute, Jay Briscoe tribute show right after the event. So they taped it. And they said you could watch it free on Honor Club. However, I was reading reports about Warner Media forbidding AEW from doing this big tribute for Jay Briscoe. So I was like, well, what's the problem? And I had to look it up to figure out what was this drama that Warner did not like. Apparently there was some homophobic comments that was made by the Briscoes years ago that they had since apologized for. Now, do you know more on that so you can elaborate for me?
I mean, that's basically it. They just, it was like he tweeted something bad 10 years ago. Even though Jay Briscoe has apologized and all that kind of stuff, they still don't want him on the show. But yet, Ezra Miller, damn, I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, they didn't want him on the show because of that.
I feel you, because that's why I brought up the name Nick Gage, because my friend was telling me all the shit Nick Gage has done is doing. Because like I said, I don't follow Nick Gage. I don't care. They had him on Dynamite facing Jericho. I guess they don't know.
Not even that. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about, and if you look at the name Warner Brothers, one of their main stars is Ezra Miller. You mean tell me Jay Briscoe did something 10 years ago, Ezra Miller is still doing stuff to this day, and yet this man is getting honored?
Exactly. I agree with you on that one. Like, this Flash movie is still coming out this year, and they still want to keep Ezra Miller, and they still want to,
this better be the best movie I ever seen. I swear to God. Not to say it like that, but this better be the best movie I ever seen, because the way the things been going, they acting like this man is just the end all be all.
Even if it is the greatest
Michael Keaton better be Michael Keaton. Like I'm just saying.
I feel you. Even if it is the best movie, it still don't excuse what Ezra Miller did.
It don't, but
yeah. And so I was just like, okay. And of course, the pictures came up with them with the Confederate stuff on from back in the day. I was like, look, I don't know what. Look, I'm not gonna try to say to make excuses for him, because as a black person, everybody's gonna know, like, well, that was racist stuff. And I'm like, yeah, the Confederate shit is racist stuff. I don't know if he was doing that for a character. I don't know if he was doing it to be a heel, like when JBL did the Hitler shit. Like, I don't follow the Briscoes like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I don't follow Ring of Honor like that. So, you know, fuck. You know what I'm saying? If I saw that shit, I'm like, all right, I ain't watching them guys, you know, type things. But
and also, people can change and also apologize for their mistakes. And they can be educated. So, I mean, I don't understand the problem if they are educated.
Yes, yes. I mean, because if you just going to hold somebody accountable all their life for maybe a mistake, like, I'm not talking about people who keep doing bad shit over and over again, McMahon, and then next day they come out when they tell us, I'm sorry for everything. Nah, you gotta kind of pay for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if it's an incident that was said, and it's just like, yo, I was acting out of turn, I was acting out of line, we should be able to give them the energy to forgive them.
Mm-hmm.
Allow them to forgive them. So I was just like, I was really just in shock because I didn't know what the hell was going on with that. So I'm like, now I don't even know how they're going to even play this tribute or whatever the case is going to happen with this.
I think it's going to be on YouTube.
On YouTube? See, because I was kind of hoping, like, as a big of star in Ring of Honor, because people regard the Briscoes as, like, the greatest Ring of Honor tag team champions.
Yeah, 13-time champions.
Yeah, like Harlem Heat, and like was it like the 11, 14, you know, sometime tag team champion. So yeah, I don't know for that, but I thought they would have went like the whole Brody Lee approach. Remember how they had one whole Dynamite. It was just like the Brody Lee show.
Well, first off, I know they wanted to do it for Dynamite, but it still wouldn't make sense for Dynamite because they've never been on Dynamite.
Exactly, that's what I was saying. Yeah,
but I know they wanted to do it for Dynamite, but Ring of Honor's, you know, tribute show makes sense. Even though it was last minute, so like I'm pretty sure they couldn't fly in every single body that they wanted to get to do the show.
Yeah,
but I heard there was like some nice stuff there, so that's cool too.
I know Adam Cole did a promo. I know they had like, I don't
Claudio
know.
wrestled somebody.
You said who?
Claudio wrestled somebody, and Eddie Kingston wrestled somebody.
Yeah, I figure Eddie Kingston would definitely be a rocker hard for this show.
Yeah, so I thought the Bucks would have probably did something too, but we'll see what happens when it comes out. I'm pretty sure it'll be like everybody on stage. I don't know how. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. It's kind of too soon. It was too soon for them to bring out like Mark and all them out. So
is that okay? So in your opinion, do you think they should have waited, or they were just very reactionary because it was like, damn, Jay Briscoe died?
Well, usually when somebody died, the next time they're on TV, usually when they get the tribute, so they just happen to be the next day. You know, when Brody Lee died, his tribute was that next Dynamite. They just so happened to have a week to prepare for it. You know.
Yeah.
When Eddie died, his was that day, the next day. And you know, when Voldemort happened, his was the next day. Then they took it back on Friday. So, you know, we will never air this episode ever again. Like, you will never see this footage at all, ever.
You know what's funny? I taped that episode.
Yeah, well, hey, not the Vince, you didn't.
And how about I say, I hope my VHS is still working because you will never see that show again.
Yeah. If you do see it, it's gonna be in like 420 or 320. 320. What is it? Not 320. 240. My bad. 240.
240p.
Yep.
Yeah. I know it was when I was showing up on Honor Club. I do think that once they get this Honor Club thing worked out, that Jay Briscoe will get a bigger tribute. He deserves one.
Yeah, no, they said they're gonna do another one.
So you know,
they just said this one was first because this was like opposite. Like it just happened. Well, they said they are gonna do another one. I did hear.
Yeah. So they also said they filmed a 1 hour show in Fresno. They'll be doing another tribute show, which will be the first when they finally do the Ring of Honor television show. The first show will feature a lot of J matches, and the tribute show taped on January 18th, and will as well when it's all put together. And then there'll probably be another one. And they got the Supercard of Honor. There will be a kind of Memorial to Jay on that show, and that happens in March of this year.
I think it's March 31st, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm also reading what Meltzer has claimed here, saying that Waterman would not allow WWE to put the Briscoe television due to Jay Briscoe's past homophobic tweets. Briscoe issued multiple apologies for those tweets. Meltzer adds that pretty much everybody in wrestling believes Briscoe was genuine, remorseful for his behavior, and put in the time and effort to learn from his mistakes.
Yeah, because they said he was like mentoring people like Effie and people like that. So okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So like these things happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to it, but the whole thing in general was just so sad, so fucking unfortunate that this had to happen. I was just like, and I look back on it like, damn, I wish I was more invested in the Briscoes. I mean, I can always go back and look and learn and stuff like that. But when my homie was trying to teach me about them and stuff like that, I was just like, man, if I had given them more of a chance back then, because they were just truly a good tag team. And I know that's a person. Like it's weird that when I just ended that 2022 podcast saying that we know there's going to be people that's going to die this year, and we can't change that. It's going to be unfortunate we got to come back and talk about that if we still make it. And damn, Jay Briscoe leaves us in January. We only 1 month, barely a month into the first year already. And that stuff is sad, but my condolences to his family, and my condolences to the person whose life was lost in the other car, to her family. And I pray for his daughters. And people, I do want to say this though. Pray. Like, don't just say it, do it. People say, pray for me or pray for this or pray for that, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, cool. But no, seriously, like, pray for, if you don't believe in God and stuff like that, then wish him good luck. I'm thinking of you. Positive energy just to go out in the universe comes a long way.